thought one of Billy Bob Thornton's underrated performances was as head coach Gary Gaines in Friday Night Lights. Can you be perfect? So far, we've got some perfection out there, Jensen, in both the AL and the NL. What did you note over the weekend?
Some of the teams we thought, another team we certainly did not. Let's start in the junior circuit here. The Blue Jays, by virtue of 50 strikeouts against the Athletics and a couple walk-off victories, they end up getting it done 3-0 out of the gates. The Yankees, boy, they make mincemeat of the San Francisco Giants. They gave up 1 run in their 3-game sweep of the Gigantes. And so the Yankees on the road in the Pacific Northwest to begin a series against the Mariners. Tonight, the Blue Jays will welcome in the Colorado Rockies. By the way, if you are looking to fade aside, Colorado had absolutely awful travel last night. Plane issues getting the charter from Houston. They did not land in Toronto, I believe, until around 3 or 4 a.m. local time. It is a night game, I believe, for Toronto, 7:07 for the Rockies and Blue Jays. So take for that what you want. The National League, the Brewers, the demise of the Brewers apparently was reportedly mistaken as they make mincemeat also of the Chicago White Sox. They're 3-0. Dodgers, ho-hum, rinse, repeat. They sweep the Diamondbacks, but it's the Marlins, Dave. The Marlins, 3-0 and a walk-off to get to 3-0 yesterday. Owen Casey, if you remember his exploits as a member of Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic, walk-off homer to get it done over the Rockies and Victor Vodnik. They are 3-0 for the first time to start a season since 2009. Now, unfortunately, they missed the playoffs there in 2009, but the Marlins will try and continue their winning ways as they welcome in those 0-3 White Sox, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, first pitch tonight. Dave, a couple of actionable spots want to get to people right now. Going to play that White Sox Marlins game under 8 runs tonight. Found that at minus $1.07 on DraftKings. And I think we're also going to play a couple of other unders right now. I mentioned the Giants have had scoring woes to start. Don't think it's going to improve for them as well. Giants Padres under 8.5 tonight at minus $1.18. So those are 2 unders to get in for people that want to play those right now.
Love it. And I'll say this. I love that start for the Marlins. All one-run victories over the Rocks. And, you know, again, with the White Sox coming in, you got to feel pretty good. How important is it for a team like the Marlins? They're looking up in the NL East. Right now, everybody's looking up at them too. But, you know, to get out to the good start, because we think that they're going to be overmatched in the division, to hang around for a couple months, getting off on the good foot in April, it feels like very important for teams like the Marlins.
Well, I think first and foremost, it is you have to win games. If you're going to contend, you got to beat the bad teams. We kind of understood that the Rockies were going to be one of those teams. The White Sox we felt would be improved. They gave up 29 runs. I mean, they gave up the most runs in the first 3 games of a series to start of any team this year. So I think that you look at teams that, number one, we knew we're going to have some growing pains. We're going to have some issues. The Rockies and the White Sox certainly are in that. I would look for a little more resistance from Chicago in this series, but the Marlins, we highlighted their pitching. We felt that they'd have a chance to win every series with that rotation. They are off to a great start, Dave. A perfect 3-0 here to begin 2026.
So for those teams that are still searching for that first win, again, it's kind of like the Kevin Bacon gif in Animal House. Remain calm. All is well. Jensen, can we remain calm if you're a D-backs backer, a Giants backer, or Rockies we know are going to be struggling with the White Sox? The A's, a little bit disconcerting because they could have won 2 of those games north of the border. Instead, they win 0. So we talk about the importance for a team like the Marlins to condition yourself to winning every day. And yet these teams that are young teams and feel like teams that are, you know, they've got hope, but they need to make that actionable here and get some of those wins under the belt. Which ones out of those teams that are still searching right away to get that first win do you think should remain calm?
I think the Diamondbacks can remain calm. Remember, Dave, this is a top 5 offense last year. And I think for them, just, hey, you draw the defending champs out of the gate. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right.
It is what it is. That's hard to overcome, especially in their own backyard there at Chavez Ravine. Let me highlight the Athletics here for a moment, because it's a team you and I are very high on. I think we also have to give a lot of respect to Toronto's pitching staff. We'll talk about some of the big statistics upcoming in a little bit. that I think the Athletics can remain calm. We're pretty confident in that offense. And Shea Langeliers just individually, my goodness gracious, what a start to his campaign. If you're a fantasy owner and you have him, really nice job. If he's out there on waivers, would highly recommend going to get him. So again, remain calm. Doesn't matter that you're 0-3. You cannot win the division in the first series of the year. As I said, we get to the second week of May, Dave. That's when we really start to drill down on whether a team has started well and it can sustain that, or a team that has not started well and there's some warning signs for sure.
I would love to turn back the clock and see a young Jensen Lewis in the bump, and you throw a ball that's on the black. You know it's on the black, and it's called a ball by blue, and you know, batters get to tap their head. What do the pitchers do? What would you guys say? ABS is now a part of our life, Jensen. It is amazing to see the reactions in game for some of the home cities when their team overturns a call. They love it. The fans seem to be really embracing ABS. What about the players and the umpires, Jensen? How's this working out in the short term?
Yeah, it has been remarkable. A great friend of the program, sideline reporter for the St. Louis Cardinals, Danny Wexelman, posting this. So through Saturday, Dave, and we'll get the updated statistics later on this morning, but through Saturday, batters were 26 for 57 in challenges as far as successful overturns. Catchers were 40 for 63. Really good percentage there. And the pitchers, and I highlight the pitchers because it happened yesterday in a game that was so critical, and it actually generated the first ejection by Twins manager Derek Shelton for arguing an ABS call. So the Twins and the Orioles yesterday, for people who didn't get to see it, Ryan Helsley is closing the game for Baltimore, and there is a ball 4 call that he ends up tapping his hat. Now, the consternation from Derek Shelton was that Helsley, and by rule, Dave, you have to challenge immediately. You can't wait. You can't get any instruction from the dugout. Only the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter can insinuate the challenge. So Derek Shelton believed that Ryan Helsley did not go immediately to his hat upon further review. I respectfully looked at it and said, I think he did. And there were 10 ABS challenges just in the Twins and Orioles game. 10 of them. 7 were overturned, including that crucial one for Ryan Helsley, which ultimately allowed the Orioles to be able to get to 2 outs. They end up winning the game. It was a call that Derek Shelton argued. That's our first ABS ejection, if you will. But already we're seeing a massive amount of home plate umpires getting exploited, or at least getting exposed. And I think it's on the rise here, my friends. So that's something to think about. To mention the Blue Jays, 50 strikeouts by their pitching staff. It's an MLB record for first 3 games of a season by one single team. And then the Rookie of the Year odds, Dave, wanted to bring this to your attention. In our VSiN MLB Futures Draft, Matt Brown actually took Chase DeLauder with a great odds payout. He got him at 20-1. Chase was 13-1 before the Guardians began on opening day. And he's got 4 homers through their first 4 games. So he cascaded down. He's the second betting choice, narrowly behind Kevin McGonigal of the Detroit Tigers, is off to an amazing start. He was 4-1 on opening day, now down to plus 290. The guy that I got, the Munetake Murakami. Let's go. Mooney hitting some moonshots. He got 3 bombs to start. I did get him, I think, upwards of plus 850 or 9-1 for Rookie of the Year in the American League. He's down to 5-1. Already some odds movement through the first series, Dave. Get your overreactions ready. And the market has reflected that in the American League Rookie of the Year race.
We really could do a whole 3 hours just on ABS. I am so fascinated by this. And just like, Jensen, if you're out there, do you not want to hit your cap because you don't want to show up the umpire? CB Buckner seems to be taking this personally when people are challenging the calls. It is wild, the dynamics that are going into this right now to try to get these calls right. That might be changing baseball more than anything. Forget about the big bags that, out there in the infield and, the pitch clock and all that. ABS, that is the change.